Hi guys! Today we're going to start learning our last way of solving a system. Remember, this chapter is all about solving a system of equations. So every problem will have two equations in it, and then our job is to find the ordered pair solution. So far, we've learned how to solve by graphing, where we graph the two lines to see where they intersect. And then we also learned how to solve using substitution, where we take one equation and we plug it into the second one. Today, we're going to learn the process called elimination, where we will be trying to eliminate a variable from our system. Here is our first example. As you can see, just like all of our other problems, we still have two equations. So 3x minus 2y equals 4, and then 4x plus 2y equals 10. For elimination, your equations must both be in standard form. Standard form, if you do not remember, is ax plus by equals c. Both of these equations are already in standard form. I have 3x minus 2y equals 4, so it's ax plus by equals c. And then I have 4x plus 2y equals 10, so ax plus by equals c. When you're eliminating, you are trying to get one of your variables to cancel out. To get a variable to cancel out, you need a variable to have the same coefficient, that's the number in front of it, in both equations, and you need them to have different signs. For instance, in this problem, if I look at my letter x, I have a 3x and a 4x. Those are not the same coefficient. One's a 3 and one's a 4, and they don't have different signs. One's positive and the other one is also positive. But if I look at my y's, I have a minus 2y and a plus 2y. Those have the same coefficient. They both have a number 2 in front of them, and one is negative and one is positive. That's our goal for elimination, is to get that to happen. Now, since it's already happened in this problem, we're ready right now to do elimination. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our two equations and we're going to stack them on top of each other. This is why you want the equations to be in standard form, so that when you stack them on top of each other, all of the like terms are lined up. My x's are right on top of each other, my y's are right on top of each other, even my equal signs are right on top of each other. If that's not happening, you can't do elimination until you reconfigure your equations. Now for elimination, we're always going to do adding. So you're going to add straight down, and it's just combining like terms since the like terms are all stacked up. So I'm going to add my 3x and my 4x, which will make a 7x. My negative 2y and my positive 2y will eliminate. That's where we get the word elimination from. So I will not have a letter y anymore. I am going to bring down my equal sign exactly where it was, and then 4 plus 10 is 14. At this point in time, I have a very simple one-step equation where I can solve for x, and I get my first answer, x equals 2. Now, don't forget, on all of these problems, you need an ordered pair. It's technically one answer, but it needs to have two numbers in it. It needs an x number and a y number. And so we're not done with this problem. Fortunately, after your first step of elimination, you no longer have to use elimination. We can now go back to what we were doing last week, which is substitution. So I'm going to take my x equals 2, and I'm going to substitute it into one of the original equations for the letter x. Now, it does not matter which equation you want to use. The first one has smaller numbers, but the second one has no negative signs. So they're both have their reasons for and against using them. I'm going to let you guys practice your substitution. So you pick which one you want to substitute into, the first one or the second one. And remember, it doesn't matter which one you substitute into. You'll get the same answer either way. So go ahead and substitute this in. When you're ready, come back and check your answer. All right, so for my y coordinate, I got 1, which means my final answer is 2, 1, 2, 1. If you need me to show you how to substitute, make sure to ask during class or you can use the Google form to ask for more help. Now, we were very lucky on this problem because this was already set up to eliminate the letter y, but that's not always going to happen. So let's take a look at an example where our variable is not going to eliminate immediately. In this example, I have my two equations and they're both in standard form. X plus y equals 18 and x plus 2y equals 25. Now, none of my variables right now are ready to eliminate, and I can really tell that because there's no negative signs anywhere in this problem. Looking at my equations, I can tell that my letter x's have the same coefficient. They both have an invisible 1 in front of them. And so if I can get one of my letter x's to become a negative 1x instead of a positive 1x, then my x's will eliminate. To do that, you need to choose one of the two equations, and you'll need to multiply the entire equation by negative 1. It's like distributing a negative 1 into the equation. Now, it does not matter which equation you multiply. I chose to multiply the second equation. So I'm going to distribute a negative 1 into this equation. And it's essentially just going to change all of the signs. So now it's a negative x, a minus 2y, and a negative 25. Now I can take my new equation with a negative x, and I can stack it with this first equation that I haven't used yet, which has a positive x, and my x's should eliminate. Remember, we're always going to do adding. So this is x plus negative x, which cancels out. This is y plus negative 2y, which is negative 1y. And this is 18 plus negative 25, which is negative 7. Once you're done eliminating a variable, it's one step to get to that first answer. You're going to divide both sides. On this problem, I'm dividing by a negative 1. And I got my first answer. My first answer is y equals 7. Remember, I'm calling that my first answer because we always need an ordered pair, so we need two numbers. In this problem, I still need to figure out what my letter x is. To do that, you don't have to do elimination. You can use substitution now. So I'm going to take my y equals 7 and substitute it. Again, it does not matter which equation you substitute into. So you can substitute it into x plus y equals 18, or you can substitute it for the y in the x plus 2y equals 25. You could even use this one with all the negative signs if you really wanted to. In my personal opinion, I would probably use the first equation because it's x plus 7 equals 18, and then I would minus 7 on both sides, and I would get x equals 11. So I think that one's the easiest, but everyone has their own opinion. So you choose what makes the most sense to you. Once you have both answers, don't forget your final answer must be written as an ordered pair. Okay, so x comma y, and in this example, it's 11 comma 7. For tonight's homework, these are the only types of elimination problems you will have. Either a variable will eliminate immediately right away, or you'll need to multiply one of your equations by negative 1 to get a variable to eliminate. Tomorrow, we'll talk about some more complicated problems.